Hey guys, my name is Pamela and welcome back to my channel At Home With Me. Today we're going to talk about communicating with your spouse during deployment, and also we're going to talk about a little bit of how we can be supportive while our husbands or wives are deployed. So before we get started, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information about me. I have been married to my husband for about 10 years now, and he served in the military as a Green Beret. If you are watching and you don't know who he is the founder of the F&G Academy here on YouTube. He tries to put out any information that may be useful and really just a lot of motivational stuff that our future soldiers need. I have played the supporting role in his life, and I absolutely adore it because I get to see my husband grow and I get to see him go for the career paths that he is most passionate about. He served in the military, and then he was a police officer in Colorado, and to focus more on his mental health, he let those things go, and now he's able to just focus on his mental health. But not only that, but he gets to share all of these things that helped them become the person that he is today, and he gets to do that through YouTube. I think that for him is very therapeutic, and honestly for me as a spouse, I'm more than happy that he's finally found something that takes care of him mentally, which is really hard to find sometimes. Now that his military career is over, I can finally step forward and do more of the things that I want to do. I chose to stay at home while he followed his career because to me, it was really important to be there for my kid. And I enjoyed every second of her growing up, so I have absolutely no regrets. However, now we have our second child, and now I get to do a little bit more of the things that I've been wanting to do, things that I've known that I'm passionate about, which is, first of all, helping others, which is why I started this YouTube channel. And then another thing that I will be working on is just my education on the side. So now that you know a little bit about me, we can get started. So the most popular way for you to really be supportive and keep in touch with your spouse while they're overseas is going to be care packages. Super, super popular. Everybody loves a care package. It shows them how much you're thinking of them. It gives them motivation so that they can, just keep going and know that they're being thought of back at home. My husband loved getting care packages. I didn't send him anything huge. I made sure that I was always filling that box with things that he really liked. So any snacks that he really liked, I think I did send him some drinks, mostly energy drinks. I did some cards in there. I made sure I did a little bit of treats, and I always decorated it. And I know that guys are not really into that stuff, but trust me, when they get that, it brings a smile to their face. I only sent Sean, I want to say probably 2 to 3 care packages because I just wasn't sure what he wanted. But asking him now, whether he liked it or not, he says that he loved it. It actually made him feel really good that every time he would open the flap, there would be writings on the side, pictures of me and Mia, just little drawings, little motivational quotes, and he loved it. And I think that if you can, the more packages that you send them, the better. It kind of keeps them looking forward to next month or next week. So if you can do that, definitely go for it. I know that some guys are like, I don't really want that stuff. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Don't ask them. Just do it for the holidays, for their birthday, for your anniversary, whatever it is that they're missing. Do it and send pictures, if you have kids and they like to do crafts, have them do a craft, have them write them a letter or a little note. It's probably the best feeling to have your kids or your spouse sending you this box, and it's just so special. Now, to get that out of the way, you basically need to set your expectations before he leaves, okay? So your communication expectations. So what do you expect from him, and what does he expect from you? Do you want him to write you as much as possible, as much as he can, whenever he gets that minute? Or do you want him to kind of take his time and just focus on writing you like once a week or twice a week. Kind of establish that beforehand so that way you're not getting upset at each other for not hearing from one another. Try video calling once a week or once every 2 weeks, especially if you have kids. If you don't, obviously, that's just for you. That's you time between you and him. But I would honestly, for me, for those spouses that have kids, I made it all about my kid so that she's able to see daddy at least once every 2 weeks. Now, get WhatsApp. So that app is actually really good for texting. I don't think Sean and I used it that much, but when he was able to use it constantly, we were always texting back and forth. It was really helpful, especially if I was just like texting him. I was like, hey, are you awake? And then he would be like, yes. He would just text me back and forth, and it was nice to just be able to have that on hand. Now, letters, okay? Letters are probably one of the most intimate ways for you to communicate with your husband or your wife. And it's because it brings you back to that traditional way of communication. It gives it a little bit of a romantic feel, and it's beautiful. You're able to write down your feelings on a letter, and then whenever they're working, or if they're doing something and they have that letter on hand, they're able to look at it and read it again and again and again whenever they need that little bit of extra love or extra comfort. So I highly recommend you sending your spouse letters, especially because it's just overall romantic, and I know that I would love a love letter, and I know my husband loved getting some letters from me as well. Also, let's talk about pictures. Send pictures, print them out and send them to your husband. They don't need like a whole album of pictures, okay? But just a few to remind them of what you look like and for them to hang on their lockers or their wall. That stuff is really, really sweet. Photos of your kids as well, photos of your pets, anything like that is going to give them a more warm feeling, more comfort, and makes them feel like they're a little bit closer to home. And honestly, it's just such a cute feeling to wake up and see your other half on their nightstand. And not only that, but ask them to send you pictures of what it looks like on base, pictures of where they're staying, or their working office, or whatever it is that they've got. Ask them to send you pictures because it gives you a little bit of a glimpse of what's going on over there or what they see every day. And it connects you guys a little bit more. Now, please don't be upset if your significant other does not write you back on time, because unfortunately, the Army is just, everything that happens is so unexpected, and they change things so frequently. So the schedule that your spouse might have had this week, all of a sudden might not be the schedule that they have next week. And then all of a sudden you don't hear from them, and you're like, why are you not writing back? And you just have to be patient, and you have to be understanding, and you have to keep reminding yourself that they're in dangerous territory, and the Army switches things around on them all the time, unexpectedly. So don't be upset if they don't write you back right away. It's not because they don't love you, or they're not thinking of you, or they're doing something else that they shouldn't be. It's simply because they are busy, and the Army is unpredictable, so their schedules can be completely thrown off every week. And the last thing I'm going to say about communication is going to be emails. So emails are so important because you can write to them at any time at all, and then whenever they get a chance to read your message, they will read it, and then they'll respond back whenever they can without you expecting them to write back right away. So emails were amazing for me and Sean. I would write him a long email, and then whenever he had time, he would read it, and then he'd get back to me whenever he could. And that's pretty much how we spent most of our deployment journey communicating. And again, like I said, video calls were really important, but we only did them about once or twice per week. And for us, we used Uvu at the time, which is not very popular now. You could probably just use Zoom at this point, or Skype. But email was great for us. I wrote him as much as I could, and then if I sent him 3 emails and he only responded with 1, that was fine. I never really got mad at him for not writing me long emails either. He's more of a one sentence type of guy, so I would only get like maybe like a 3-sentence email, and that was fine as long as I knew that he was doing fine and that he was safe. Then I was okay with it. Also, when you're writing your emails or your letters or you're talking on the video, don't tell them that you're struggling. I mean, you are going to struggle, but don't tell them that you're not doing so well because now you have to go get groceries and you're pregnant and you have a toddler. Like, is it hard? Yeah, it's hard. And that's why having a support system in place is so important. Whether it's friends or family or simply just, women from your Bible study group. Anybody at all that wants to be there for you and your family is going to make a huge impact, because this is exactly what it comes down to. You don't want to stress out your partner while they're in dangerous territory going on missions and, possibly put them in danger because they're not thinking about their job. They're thinking about you. So, I mean, it's tough, but don't tell them that that you're not doing okay, because at the end of the day, you can get help, but he really can't. He has to deal with a lot over there. That was pretty much it for communication, a little bit of, how to be supportive during that time. But the last thing I am going to say is going to be, don't watch the news, please. I know that some of you guys are super into following the politics and what's going on. But honestly, if your husband or wife are deployed, it does not help. It just stresses you out. It makes you frustrated. And really, it's not necessary. You're already going to be mentally stressed out. So you want to keep your life as positive as possible. You don't want any negativity around you. You want to make sure that everything that you have around you is positive, or you're gaining something out of it. You do not want any more stress on top of what already you're dealing with. Whatever news you're going to need to find out about, you will know through your FRG leader or the commander. So that's it. All right, guys. That's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe this video. It really helps us out. My goal is to grow this channel as much as I can to make sure that we bring some awareness into what military spouses really go through. I think it would just be amazing to create a huge support system for them. A little bit more than, what the Army has in place, more than what's already out there. I think that we can reach something that's a little bit more helpful for them, a little bit more meaningful. So let's see where this channel goes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and till next time. Bye.